Hi guys, I'm Doritos, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to score those crazy long-range power shots. The power shot has to be, in my opinion, the most underused mechanic in this game that is extremely effective. The power shot can be scored from literally all ranges, all the way back to near enough the halfway line. You can score from some crazy distances with this technique. The most crazy thing about it is I don't think I've conceded one at all. I don't think anyone's really attempted these against me, which just shows how underused they are because I score these all the time. The power shot has two key areas where you're going to be able to consistently score them. Number one is from corners and free kicks, but more specifically corners. And secondly, it's just going to be when you're at range and the opponent has backed off and you've got a decent amount of space in front of you. All in all, the main thing to bear in mind with the power shot is the key to getting it really consistent, effective, and to often get that sort of more dipping, knuckleball-esque animation is to have the ball in the air. So whether that be the ball bobbling, whether that be the ball coming off of a skill move, a cross, just a little flick, whatever it is, that ball's bouncing or just not on the floor, you're going to get way more consistent animations. With the examples I just showed you with the corner, essentially it all applies the same. That's just about playing it short or picking somebody out with a long range pass. But the key and fundamentals of this are all the same, whether it's from a corner or whether you are just doing it from range. The most common, I say common, it's not very common at all, but the people that do them, the most common way they set them up is this. They do that scoop, and to do that, you literally just click the right stick in. Now, if you're dead still like this and not moving, if you're stationary, they might do something like this. So you've got to kind of be moving forward, let go of your left stick, and then flick it up. Just that way you're kind of going at the right pace for them to flick it up, but the ball not go too far away from your body. Now, the aim is to volley the ball off of this, because if we let it bounce, you're giving the opponent a lot more time to close you down because it delays the shot animation. So as soon as we flick this up, the moment you've clicked that right stick in, you want to power up your power shot. The amount of power is very relative to how far out you are, so I would say in general you're aiming for like 3.5 bars, but the main thing is just to practice this and you'll get a feel for how much to put on. So we click the right stick in, after slowing down to flick the ball up. The moment we do that, we do the power shot. To do the power shot, just hold L1 and R1 whilst you're shooting. Bear in mind, these shots are manual, so make a real conscious effort to point your left stick at the goal when activating the shot. To give you an example of this, let's just get a little bit further out here. So we're here, we flick it up, we power up, bang. And look at that, I didn't even green it, and it's gone top bins. On the point of greening the shots, it is definitely not necessary with these. They are very consistent without being greened. However, I would say if you are comfortable greening your shots, then do it. I often do still try and green these online to get the most consistent shots possible, and they come off really nasty. But if you're not comfortable with it, don't worry, this is still really effective. If you don't hit your power shot early enough and you get this kind of animation, then as you can see here, it still works. And to be honest, the shot itself won't come off any differently. It's just a case of if you let it bounce, you're delaying the animation and therefore you can get closed down a lot easier. So you're giving your opponent a lot more time then to stop it. So you're only volleying it to ensure your opponent has less time to stop it. It's no other reason than that. The shot will come off all the same whether it bounces or not. Once you get comfortable with this and you have the timing down, you do not have to be limited to doing the scoop. Like at the start of the video, I showed you this one with Benzema where the ball comes into his feet, I flick it up, flick it over his head, and then I activate the power shot. This is an example of it once you're comfortable like this. I mean, that's just a crazy animation, isn't it? It's worth noting that you can do them off of crosses and stuff, but I would only do this if you see someone in lots of space like I did here with the Ian Rush clip where I hit it first time. Same again with this Ronaldinho clip here, where I cross it in, I chest it, and then go for it. This is something to be going for once you're very comfortable with it. I would definitely aim for just the scoop ones first, then go into sort of trying to do it off of a skill move like I showed you a moment ago in the arena. And then once you've got the hang of that, then go into the ones where you're trying to hit them first time or off of a cross. You might think of this as quite risky to go for in a game. You might think you're quite prone to losing the ball. It's not the case. If you flick the ball, go for a power shot, as you can see there, you can cancel the animation. To do that, you just press the left trigger and right trigger at the same time, exactly the same as a normal shot cancel. A very short and sweet video, this one. The power shots really don't have much to them. As long as that ball's bouncing, you activate a power shot, you're going to get a nasty animation. I really don't understand why they're so underused. I think on face value, they look like a very flamboyant, crazy way to score, but it's actually a very consistent meta way to score, and it's just crazy to me that more people don't use these. Another thing I will note is I know when I've scored these kinds of goals in videos, people kind of point the finger with a, oh, you know, if you were doing that in an Elite Rivals game, you wouldn't be able to do it. If you were doing that in a Champs game, you wouldn't be able to do it. It's actually very much the opposite. These kinds of techniques are what will give you the ability to score in those games where you can't, because you can do it from such a far range. You do not need to work anything. You just need a bit of space in front of you. And against anyone in Elite Rivals, against anyone at a max elo in Champs, you are going to be in positions where you can do these. Even from the corner alone, you can pass the ball right back to somebody. You've got 10-15 yards of space in front of you. It's literally not possible for the opponent to stop them. You can always attempt these regardless of who you're playing. So don't think of this as something that you're only going to score against weaker opponents with. Often, this is your get out of jail card in those really tough games. I hope you enjoyed the video today, guys. If you've got any questions on this technique, just drop it in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you did make it this far in the video though, guys, as always, I really appreciate your time. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn your bell on. Take care, guys.